In Path of Exile 2 Dawn of the Hunt, there is a minion Lich build that clears maps on autopilot and destroys bosses while never pressing a single button. All you need to do is to summon the boys and they'll do everything for you. Hail and meshes kings and queens, it's me Spud the King, and in this video I'll show you the skills, some tricks to elevate your play with this minion build, passive tree to optimize and glue everything up. And spoiler alert, you don't need a lot of gear to make this work, and we'll wrap everything with the boss fight, so let's jump straight into the skills section of this video. Quick notice, if you followed my witch leveling guide and you want to switch to this one, you basically can do it right away, and that's exactly what I did. You may notice how our basic flame wall skeletons is nerfed right now, and it's starting to lose power on cruel difficulty, so right from the cruel difficulty I swapped to exactly this build through Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 on high difficulty, and straight to the maps, and I'm destroying maps right now pretty easily. So, skills. Well, you actually need only one, boys. You need the skeletal storm mages. But as you can see, we got two of them, and here's the secret. If you will try to make two of them, you will have some problems, probably. Probably game won't allow you to do it, so you need to go to options, you need to go to game, and make sure you don't have these gem cutting restrictions over here. As you can see, this, when it's on, it will prevent you to cut gems that is already socketed, and you want two of the same gems. And now you probably get a question why we need two of them, and that's pretty easy, you will understand it really fast. So take a look over here, skeletal storm mages. Whenever you add quality to them, they will become more tankier with energy shield, so that's like something you want to know. But right now I'm running without any quality, it's completely fine. They're so broken that you don't need any quality whatsoever, and you don't even need to use the commands, like the storm ability. While it's really powerful, what we want from the skeleton boys is arc spell that they doing as auto attack basically. And we got two bunch of skeletons. So first skeletons will have different support gems from the second skeletons. The first one is our damage dealer. So we're going with arcane tempo, they will have more casting speed, therefore they will attack fast. We get an elemental focus, so they will deal more elemental damage, and that's a big buff for them, but they won't inflict elemental ailments. So that's a big one. Elemental ailment for lightning spells is shock that will amplify lightning damage, and we will amplify our damage output, basic damage output, but we will remove ability to inflict shock. If you play in something like sorcerer, for example, that using lightning spells, it's a big deal. So if your main spell not inflicting shock and you don't have abilities to inflict shock, you're basically gaining 25% more damage, but you're losing like 25% damage without ability to inflict shock. And last one is feeding frenzy. Of course, minions will deal 30% more damage and they will take 10% more damage, but that's okay, they will revive pretty fast thanks to our passive skill tree. But this damaging minion will be fixed with our second minion, so skeletal storm mage again, and he will have conduction, 2 more chance to shock. He will have lightning exposure, so he can expose enemy whenever he shocks him, therefore amplifying our lightning damage even more, and strip away to increase exposure effect. So that's crazy. These guys basically destroying enemy resistance to lightning damage. These guys will destroy enemies by raw power. Now to amplify this even more, actually you don't even need buttons, you can play with just two skills, remove everything else, run maps, you will be completely fine. If you want to do some maps, some bosses and some enemies faster, we need to amplify lightning damage more constantly with conductivity. Of course, it will reduce lightning resistance of enemies, and mostly it will be used on elite enemies and bosses to make sure they are not lightning resistance right now and their lightning resistance is lower. To make curse like more friendly, we're using cursed ground, so it creates cursed ground. Enemies who is within it will be cursed. We don't need to aim it correctly at fast enemies, we just place a ground. We want to improve power of this curse by heightened curse support gem, and also ritualistic curse will increase area of effect a lot by 50%. The next one is bone offering. That's another damage amplification. You will destroy two skeletons, but it will give other skeletons protection shield as well as damage buff. That's really... It's nice to know how this buff actually works. That shield that given to your skeletons will absorb next hit, therefore he won't take a damage, and it will explode. Explosion dealing insane amount of physical damage, and we will amplify it even more with Dense Macabre, increasing buff effect as well as increasing more damage for this offering. Ablation, target 2 minions, increase buff effect duration, and deal 30% more damage, and persistence for more effect duration, so it's not wear off too quickly. That's the main part of the build, and now the little tricky parts that I will understand how you will use them to optimize gameplay and get ready for every situation. Also, I'm using Ball Lightning, and support gem is Magnified Effect, but it doesn't matter actually, we just need any spell. Ball Lightning is just good because it got some chance to shock enemies. And there's last one, Skeletal Cleric. I'm using just one with Mid Shield, so he can tank more damage, with Elemental Army, so he can tank even more damage from elemental attacks, and Ingenuity to reduce his cooldown. So Skeletal Cleric is pretty cool dude, he will revive your minions, that's it. Let's jump on the map and see how it goes. Setup is technically easy and lazy, but there is a bunch of ways how we can optimize and do stuff better, and I will show you these tricks. So overall gameplay will look like this. You just go and they destroy everyone. You can wait and play like passively, carefully, but minions will always teleport right behind you, so you can run like this. If you wait attacks, you can basically run around enemies like this. Crazy skeletons will spawn and destroy everyone. So the tricks, there's technically not a lot of them, but as you can see, they're destroying everyone, but there's one problem. They're a little bit stupid. They're skeletons without any brains. How we can optimize them if they're, for example, in danger? Sometimes they actually in danger. For example, when they're standing in some like boss area, when boss tries to slap them and slam. That's the trick, and that's why I got this awesome skill, Ball Light. Basically, you need to make sure you're using Ball Lightning only on skill number 2. That's it. Now, whenever you cast Ball Lightning, everyone will disappear, and I got my conductivity only for skill set, for weapon set number 1. So whenever I cast conductivity, everyone will basically rise up and start fighting. And this actually gives us a lot of abilities. First of all, we can evade enemy attacks, boss attacks, especially when we cast Ball Lightning, so skeletons will survive and we don't need to wait until they revive. Or we can like single target and focus fire our enemies. We just cast conductivity on them and skeletons will rise and destroy them like that. That's a cool little trick that will definitely help you destroying enemies with ease. But technically, again, you don't need to press any buttons, and when you get the best gear, when you level up a little bit, you actually can go full AFK mode and never press a button ever, basically ever. Make sure to protect your minions from time to time with this awesome buff. You just impale them, they got this shield, skeleton shield. You saw it on Medusa in Act 2 and Cat. So whenever they're in danger, you can cast this stuff, and whenever they got hit, the shield explodes and destroys enemies. It's hard to see, but it actually works and destroys enemy pretty fast. And that's basically how full setup works. Our minions doing damage, and 2 minions, we got separation. We got 6 damaging minions, 2 minions that applying shock and exposure. And you just need to find the numbers that works. This number box for me, as you can see, the enemy just got exposed, but you can run with 3 skeletons early on that are applying exposure. In the late game, you need more damaging, and just like 1 or 2 can apply exposure. Also, I would really recommend you to use direct minions. You need to use the skill because sometimes they are stuck behind, they can't attack through the walls. And for example, you can hide behind the wall, but you can direct them to go other directions, so they go out of the wall, and then they will finish enemies while you are safe. So skeleton skill, basically that's how it looks like. You're creating these storms, they're doing some damage. It takes loads of mana, that's why I'm not recommending to using this a lot, but you can use it on fallen skeletons for extra lightning damage. Overall, that's crazy how broken this minions is, and don't forget they are also body shields, so in a fight try to roll behind them and enemies will fight them, not you. You will be safe, you can evade boss attacks just by hiding behind the skeletons, and that's like the craziest part. It's so safe, it's so cool, and it's basically like probably the best minion build you can get in Path of Exile. And last elite will be fallen in no time. After map completed, we'll go to passive skill tree, and yeah, it looks like a complete mess because it is. It's on purpose right now. We will fix it pretty fast, and I will explain exactly how you flow with this build when you're leveling, when you're just going straight into the end game, and basically how to fix all this stuff. For our ascendancy, of course, we're going with Lich, and we're using this new node. We're increasing maximum mana, and then we're getting this awesome buff. We're getting Unholy Might, which gives us 30% all damage as extra chaos damage. It also affects our allies, our minions, minions, but we're losing 5% of maximum mana per second. For second rotation, we're getting these 2 points to increase magnitude of Unholy Might per 100 of our maximum mana. So early leveling is basically nothing changed from my witch leveling guide. We're going for full minion and spell damage. It's self-explanatory. You just want full minion damage and that's it, especially if you're going with minion builds. So from here on now, there's a bunch of like minion nodes, and if you don't know, you can basically type minion in the search bar and it will highlight all the minion nodes and you can decide where you want to go. But that's where you actually want to go. You want to go to the top part over here, to the head of this minion guy, looking guy, and minions will have reduced reservation, therefore you will create more minions. That's the most important part, where we need to go as fast as possible. And while going upwards is a little bit faster, actually I want to go left, since stats not giving you anything, and we want to arrive over here to get this attack casting speed, elemental resistances, so they not dying in the campaign very fast, and most importantly we want to pick this revive faster, as fast as possible, because minions when they're down, the timer is around like 7 seconds or something like this, and they will be revived automatically. You want to lower this timer to like 2 seconds, so they always standing and attack. And then we're going like upwards, we're going straight over here, getting reduced reservation as well as some increased damage. This will help you go through the early parts of the campaign basically. Now you're joining and starting to play in the like Act 3 normal towards the last boss, and that's where we taking a few steps to the left and getting this part of the tree. So there's a lot of damaging nodes and we want to take all of them, especially this one, 25% increased damage. So this is insane increase, and you will have it right at the end of Act 3 when you finally can unlock your minions, basically like powerful minions, and you can clear boss pretty easily with my leveling build, for example. Now what we're doing next, we want to make sure our minions starting to survive cruel difficulties, so a little bit of elemental resistance is a nice addition. But then again, let's increase power of our minions. They going into the late game, they're becoming more powerful. From this branch we're going over here and getting minion damage, critical hit chance, as well as critical damage bonus. While you're leveling, you actually can take these nodes over here to increase your extra damage also. And at this point you probably will want to go and ascend. Before this point actually ascension like won't matter too much, but now you want to ascend, and if you get these nodes with my leveling build, with builds that actually doing skills, you won't have any mana regeneration, because it will take 5% of your maximum mana every second, and basically you will have no mana regeneration. But right now we can easily pick it, because we will go to the right part from this node, Raw Destruction. We're basically going to mana regeneration, instantly fixing our mana problems, and starting to increase our energy shield, followed by maximum minion life and minion revive faster. So now they will revive a lot faster, that's a good one. Then we're taking this weird road, getting more maximum life, again we're reviving them faster, more maximum life, and then increasing movement speed, casting speed, and damage. And then you're leveling basically to the end game, that's where you will be at around level 60, and that's where you actually can finally fix the build. I'm not fixed it on purpose, but basically we want this connection over here. So now we can connect the build basically and remove these nodes, this mana regeneration, and check if your mana is dropping after you casting spells. If it's climbing up, then you're fine. Since we're in the end game, we basically took every damaging node we possibly could take, and that's more than enough to like basically destroy everything. You can't improve your damage furthermore. You actually can by going over here, and when you establish this connection, that's one of the like smart moves you can take. For example, you can remove this spell damage, you don't need it, and it's only 8% increased minion damage. And game, the thing you want to do most is to survive. So instead of taking this extra damage, we don't need it. We need to work on our energy shield, and it's really easy to do. We got a bunch of points saved from this change, from this pretty easy change. And what we're doing right now, we're basically establishing another connection with increased maximum energy shield over here. And after establishing this connection, we can basically remove these 2 points, so we don't need, and allocate them over here, increasing our intelligence, basically making sure our stats right to activate all minions, and removing this big part of extra stats we don't need. How to increase your survival even further? Basically we're going to the right part for extra stats, extra intelligence, extra energy shield. Then we're taking this extra energy shield and maximum some resistances, we can go for this one. It's a really big one, maximum energy shield, and again 40% increased maximum energy shield while reducing our mana at the same time. But left part will counter it with more mana regeneration and increased intelligence, therefore even more mana. Since we're jumping straight into the gear part of the video right now, and since next part of our video is gear, I also would say this one is the big one. Basically we will have increased armor, increased maximum energy shield, and that's a big and powerful basically protective nodes. Just don't go to the top part, it's for warriors, for like increasing damaging chance, increasing damage per chance of block, you don't need it, but you need the big ones, increasing block chance, increasing armor from cube body armor and energy shield. Basically that's a big protective nodes for like complete end game. So gear, you don't need anything fancy, but here is what I got and I was pretty lucky in the campaign. Basically we're building character with strength and intelligence as base and most important stats. We're going with strength, intelligence, armors, therefore we will have armor and energy shield, nice layers of protection. And I got this armor in the beginning, basically it gives us plus 100 spirit, and from the get-go we can create loads of skeletons. Next up, in your main hand you can get your scepter basically with extra skeletal warrior minions. They will be completely free, 2 of them, but what is most important stuff on your scepter is level to all minion skills. The highest level of your minion skills, the higher damage they will do. So basically you want to stack these minion skills on all of your gear, and you can do it on your scepter. It's the main source and it can go up to +4 or even +5, and it will be more than enough. Right now I got +3 level to all minion skills, that's pretty okay. The next source of our plus level to minion skills is our amulet. It can be +2, and also helmet. Helmet also can give you +2 level of all minion skills. I got dexterity intelligence helmet right now, so it's pretty weird since I don't need that high dexterity, but still, if you find good plus level to all minion skills, try to equip it and it will work. Then basically you want to make sure you got nice and cool resistances, and I'm running with movement speed boost right now. It feels good, it feels great, but as summoner who's doing only skeleton mages as the summons, you can find and get this boost that gives you reduced reservation for skeletons. Yeah, these skeleton mages are skeletons, they will be with reduced reservation, and you will be able to create 2-3 more skeletons most of the time. Other gear is not that important. You want shield in your right hand, strength intelligence shield with armor and energy shield, and basically you want to have increased armor for your protection layer, you want to have increased energy shield, and health. Health is also very good, mostly because as Lich you can go and pick this right side as your ascension, and you won't have mana regeneration, but you will regenerate mana to equal to 6% of your maximum life per second. And if you have life higher than mana, a little bit higher, then you will easily outperform regeneration, or better I say degeneration of your mana from necromantic conduit. So back to equipment. This one is a very good one. I got it in the end of the campaign, basically by the end at level 51. So it's kinda upgrade to our basic armor from the beginning of campaign. It's good, it's 100 spirit, but it got low armor and energy shield. So Wave Shaper fixes it all. It will give you maximum energy shield, it will give some spirit and resistance to fire and cold damage source. And at the same time you will gain 31% of maximum mana as armor. With this armor, it's nice to know that increases and reductions to mana regeneration rate also affects your energy shield recharge rate. So it will give double value to nodes like insightfulness with increased energy shield and mana regeneration at the same time. For Flask, I'm using Flask that grants recovery to minions. It is not most optimal, probably you just want to survive yourself, minions will survive somehow, but I like to be able to heal my minions from time to time. So it clears maps pretty fast, but again, you can generate a lot more power with better gear while you're leveling up. Most important from this point, just improve your survivability and level up your skeletons while you level up. And while you know that this build clears maps fast, let's see how it clears bosses and how we fight versus bosses. And it's no other than Mushroom Boy. We impale skeletons and start destroying him. He ran away. But come on, the coolest part of the build again, we can just await his attacks and skeletons will do the job. They're standing in the dangerous area, so I'm doing my strategy with resummoning them. They'll stun this Mushroom Boy, and Mushroom Boy is basically almost destroyed. DPS is okay for low level skill right now. we will increase skill level pretty soon. And it's crazy how good this build is. I hope you enjoyed it. You can check other builds on the screen right now and see you in the next videos.